Good evening, everybody. This is Joe Dela Cruz. I am not here hosting Born Political. We have a special event going on down here at SEC TV. This is the yearly holiday party that we had to skip the last couple of years because of COVID. But thankfully, through all the hard work and everyone getting vaccinated and doing all the right stuff, we're able to be here today. If you got to see, you can't see the spread. It's off-site. But I'm going to be here in front of the camera. We have a bunch of folks coming in. They're going to be in and out all day. We're going to interview and let you guys know what exactly SEC TV does. And it's a huge benefit for the community. Often a lot of great things that happen in our town, like our libraries and things that we just take for granted and drive by. This is no exception. SEC TV gives us me especially. You've been watching me interview people on Born Political for this last 6 or 8 months, and none of it happens without the help and the support that actually comes through cable. And I'm going to let you know on how they're funded. It is through cable, and we're because a lot of people are cutting the cable, we're still going to find ways and different ways to support venues like this. We're going to have a great night tonight. If you're locally around, if you're in Groton, or even if you can make it here by 8 o'clock. What time does this go till? 8 o'clock? 8:30, yeah. See, I got help back there, too. So it goes about 8:30. There's food, fun. If you ever wondered how this public television thing worked and you wanted to come in and just see the studio, that's great. But we have a lot of other things going on tonight. There's actually artists, local artists, and some not so local artists that actually have artwork that's hung up around the studio and throughout the offices. You can take your time and look at those. They are for purchase, so you can support local artists and support a new room in your house, making it pretty again. So again, we're going to be here for the next few hours. This is not a Born Political show. This is a holiday show. So we have. I want to thank everyone that does the studio work too. The way all this works and happens. If you saw the amount of equipment that is behind the scenes in these cameras, my producer Jeremy is behind the camera right now. You want to come out here, Jeremy, introduce yourself, because the community is made whole by all people like this. He actually was recruited through Community Speaks Out because he is a volunteer, not just a volunteer, but a board member. And then I recruited him to do the show. I want to thank you for that. And also thank you for your service. He's a retired, not retired, but is that, yeah, retired, Submariner.
Yeah, was not retired, but I did 4 years in and got out. But yeah, it was subs, and been in Groton now for going on 12 years. Before that, I was in New London, but yeah, I've been in Connecticut now since '95.
And before you ever saw the studio, you got introduced because I was begging.
No, not necessarily begging. It was.
Well, I needed people, and he stepped up. But he's an IT guy, so this all came natural to him. But what did you think when you walked in there? You probably drove by it a million times, never saw it. Were you in it before or no?
No. I had I'd driven by it a number of times, going to Benny's or the post office, and had seen there was a TV studio here, but never stopped in or seen what was going on here. So it was a little bit of a shock to see a whole television studio in a strip mall, essentially.
And the quality, what do you think?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like the product that we put out for everybody is really high quality, and it helps me do some of the back end IT stuff for your show. Getting it out on podcasts and even getting it re-uploaded to YouTube and stuff like that. So yeah, the quality is definitely amazing.
And I mean, so starting the show was intimidating for me. It was less intimidating because I have friends like you and people that are actually here to guide you through it. So for me to start the show, I needed a producer. I needed there's like 5 different positions that you have to have covered. And I was able to cover those with friends and relatives. But really, the nuts and bolts of it happens by the folks that work here. Yeah. And Frank has probably taught you a lot. There's 2 Franks. and I'm going to have them both on. Hopefully, maybe one of the Franks may not want to come on and get interviewed. But so what, if you learn anything from them, obviously there's a lot of stuff, a lot of switching going back there. I know nothing about the back room other than I just get to start and just talk, and that's what I love doing anyway. But on the tech side, is it hard? Like if somebody wanted to start a show, is it something that you think it's just you got to learn? There's some learning.
Yeah, there's a little bit of learning. Frank does a great job showing you everything that needs to be done. There's still some things that you only use for a few seconds when you do a show. So even though we've done 10 or 12 shows, whatever it is, because it's only done for like 2 seconds in the beginning of the show, you don't really get used to using it. So he'll step in, he gets it going, and then after that, everything else is pretty straightforward. But he's really good at showing you and walking you through the process and explaining the process. So really, anybody that wanted to do a show, they can learn how to do it pretty easily, and they can get whatever message they want to get out.
And that's the key. SEC TV is providing this platform. To me, that ends up coming out like a professional platform. And when you're done with it, again, because I have this IT guy, he can basically share it through different venues. So it shows up on Twitch. If you notice my Facebook and see that, God, Joe's really good with these videos. People have asked me from other towns when they watch a video and say, "Wait, man, you're incredible, Joe. Like, that's a nice setup you have." And I'm like, thank you for my setup. But I thank all the people that are purchasing cable for that, and some of the state funding that is behind this to make all this happen. And I want to be clear that today's December 8th. Don't come tomorrow at 5:30 looking for food, because that's not going to happen. You got to have food. If you want to come down and see the place and bid on our work and enjoy the food, you got to come down here in the next couple hours, because we are live tonight. We are. And we go live every Thursday unless we don't have a guest or something's going on with the host, right?
Most of the time, yeah.
Well, Jeremy, I thank you, my friend, for everything. Yeah. Thank you for your service. And we have live music here tonight, too. Do you know who's the band? We're going to get the band name for you. We have a celebrity here, too. Terry, I don't know if you want to come on. This is someone that uses it. Come on the show, please. You don't like to do interviews? Well, you can't see her. She's off camera. You can talk. You don't want to be on camera, but she is looking very beautiful tonight. I will tell you that in advance. So she doesn't want to look on camera, but this is a person that actually produces one of the shows that's on SEC TV. 2 shows, right? Which one? Potluck Politics and Community Buzz. So you may have seen some of the shows. Again, it's 90% of the work that happens here is behind the scenes. When someone just talks like I do, I talk all the time. That's the easy part. That's the fun part. But what do you think, SEC TV? What do they contribute to? I mean, what's it meant for you? I'll hand you the mic. You can stay off camera.
Well, we're supposed to be the town square, which I embrace that idea, because it's like anybody can come and talk about whatever it is that they are passionate about, and I think that's a great thing. And so many people have been through here. If you ask Frank, anybody, he says, "Oh yeah, they did a show in," or "Yeah, I know them." So over the years, everybody's passed through, and where else? I mean, to be on TV is really important, and without access to the airwaves, general people like us would never get to say what's going on,
And I got a lot more people showing up.
Oh, okay, good.
Well, that was your behind-the-scenes look. She actually stayed behind the scenes while speaking. I have someone that's used to being on camera. You want to come up with? Well, we are live right now. Born Political. But this is not the Born Political show right now. This is celebrating the holiday party. It says Born Political. You're right. I am the holiday party guy today. I am hosting folks that walk in and just trying to tell other people's story. Like, what's the impact of SEC TV? Obviously, it's been pretty big on you. You have a show. What do you think?
We love to have programs that are sometimes political, sometimes saving animals, sometimes just something interesting in the community or something someone's done that's interesting. And it's stuff you can't get anywhere else.
You can't.
So it's really a service to the community, and thank goodness we've got it.
Yep.
And it's exciting to be able to do it. And I don't know how many people know, but you could come down here, learn how to use a camera, and borrow a camera and do a program. So, so this may be an inspiration for somebody else to do a program. Just
And
like you've done.
it's been
We
great.
have you in our program, and now you got your
Exactly.
own.
It's been great for me.
I'm happy about that.
And my start really was because I had been in the studio before, but my experience was through Peter's show and
Terry's show.
and Terry's show. Yes, and she was the one that you didn't see on camera, but you heard her explaining all the technical side of it. And again, I think you would agree with me. It's the technical side that's the difficult side. To be in front of the camera and talk, it's a lot of fun for me. If there's a subject that you want to address out there, or somebody, if you thought of a show, an idea of a show, I think you should come out and try it.
Community groups, especially any community group that wants to help the community, come do a program and get your word out, because it's a way to reach people.
It is, and it's one of the very few ways left. Again, I told people on the other side of the state that see my Facebook and I repost my show. They're just impressed with the incredible quality that I'm able to produce my videos with. And in my basement, yeah. It has nothing to do, when you see this quality, it really has not much to do with me and everything to do with the studio here. And we only have a couple hours that we're going to share this holiday party with, so I'm hoping that we get people to come down here. We already have a good crowd. You can't see them on the camera, but they're...
There's art, there's a lot of good people.
Who's the band, Peter? Do you know these guys?
I do not know.
I'm gonna get their name, because in the background you can hear that light music. That's a live band. So we're having a lot of fun down here. So hopefully you guys can make it on down. I'm gonna have guys come up, and good talking to you. Thanks for coming out. All right. We have a regular. He can be considered a regular at this point, I think, because he was just on last week's Born Political. It was last Thursday. Counselor, I'm explaining to everybody how meaningful and important a venue like this is, and you got to experience. You've been here before. You're on the board, right? What do you think the impact of something like this has on the community, and how do we plan on supporting it in the future?
I think it brings the community into to realize that we have this station, we have some terrific new equipment, we have a great space for people to do shows like you're doing, starting a show. We now are also expanded to Waterford.
Red carpet. You're so pretty. We can't look at the. We want to see the full frontal view. Come on.
We've now expanded to Waterford, so we're basically the largest media outlet on the southeastern corner of Connecticut.
Okay. Yep.
We cover the largest. So if you want to communicate with people, you want to do a show, you have an idea, it's a great way and medium, and it's free. There is no cost to any of this.
Free. That's a big, because people always assumed that it was free because they knew I had a show and they figured I probably wasn't paying. But it's free to anybody, and it's a great way to get a message across.
That's right. You can come down here, you can create a show, half hour, an hour show, and that's anywhere related to your community or your skill or your art or whatever basically you want to do. We have a wide range. So we have shows, we have religious shows, we have talk shows, we have a sports show. Any idea you have, you can come down and create a show, and it's pretty easy to do.
And I was surprised to find out because, keep it long. When I found, I'm a little loud. I used to have it clipped on. My wife gives me good advice and tells me to quiet down. But I think she's telling me to be quiet. Use my in voice. I only have an outside voice, apparently. But again, Councilor Bruce, everybody that saw the show, our show, was very intrigued by all the work that you've done.
Yeah.
I've got a couple calls. To me, it's to get to know your community. It's just it's half of what we should be doing. And we're going to continue to do that. We have a bunch of people. You want to come on over here? We have a newly elected guy. So there's proof that there's food, right? He saw the chicken salad. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Right? Won our new 41st District State Rep. Not yet. We share the seat kind of ish right now. But you're going to be sworn in January 4th.
That's right.
And, if anyone needs to know the importance of what SEC TV does,
Yes.
it's going to be our legislators. And I think you already know that. You've been here. You've heard the spiel. But the outlet that we have here is, especially in Groton Town here, to have this kind of a service. I mean, and I know hopefully you're up there and continue to fight. I know you will because you've used it.
Absolutely.
So, what do you think of the
been
Franks?
the beneficiary of it. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on. It's been a busy month, obviously. But this election cycle had the opportunity to come on your show twice.
You did.
And you know what? This is a regional service. Right here in the district, here in Groton,
Yep.
and on televisions throughout our region. And in some cases, it's the only opportunity for people to hear from the people that are looking to be their voice, who represent them in town halls and city halls and in their legislatures. So thank you for your work. I've always had a blast.
It was
and
always
so
fun, right?
It wasn't burdensome, right? It's shows are supposed to be organic. You're supposed to be yourself, and I've always felt that way, on TV, and I can't say the same about any other local or any other time I've been on TV. So,
and I've had a few shows, and with having you on twice, to me,
Yes.
I think it allows people to understand who you are.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the most important part, because in politics, usually people meet their politicians when they go to the voting booth.
Yes.
And they have really no idea who that person is.
Yeah.
The feedback I've gotten from the shows, from you being on them and talking to people out there that you've met on doors.
That's right.
They're like, okay, this is someone that I trust, someone that I want to make sure they're going to be able to make some decisions
That's
for me.
right.
So, in this, I know that Frank, they're so dedicated to this this setup and what they do here. They're going to fill you in.
That's right.
On
And
all
we can
legislative
still-
needs.
And look at the quality of this. I mean, we can still do so much more.
We can,
But-
and we will.
Yes, and we will.
We have a
will.
bunch of people. Thank
My
you.
man.
State rep, 41st district. Everybody's here now, so you guys should know. Even if you don't want the food, you should come down and check out all the people. We have something going on
Try
here
the
tonight.
chicken salad.
I am going to have some chicken salad. That's going to happen soon. We have we'll interview everybody. So this.
To the red carpet.
The
I've been
red
waiting
carpet.
all day.
All
to
day.
Be in the red carpet
And
with Joe Delacruz interviewing. This is such a pleasure and honor
Well,
to have you interviewed.
And for you to be dressed up.
It
and-
is a holiday party. Which there's I think one other person here dressed in a holiday party.
I was looking for an ugly sweater, and nothing comes in my size. I have a very funny shape. It's
Well,
more round than tall. And
Ugly sweaters are funny shaped.
They are.
So I think you'd be okay. And by the way, TJ Maxx has a lot.
They do.
That's where I went to today.
So,
was TJ Maxx. Okay, so yeah, that works well.
So this is my political mom. I have, not just political mom. It's also my second mom, my political mom. Got me involved in everything that I'm doing today, and even talked about the show before I had thought about it. So without Liz, I'm not even on the camera tonight.
Joe's a star.
I'm a
you
star.
You are a star. Okay, and it's a pleasure to be standing next to you.
Oh, my
You're
God.
a star. But
See, that's
I do
why-
want to tell you. I want to say how much I appreciate SEC TV. And I have learned so much because of this show that you're doing, okay, and Born Political. I actually went through training, and Frank Focchiero is phenomenal.
Yes.
Absolutely phenomenal. And he trained me, which I was a nervous wreck. He trained me how to do things. It's not that I've done it, because thank goodness you have Jeremy
Oh, yeah.
and Joseph, who are far better than I am at this, so I'm very,
You need
very
to give
grateful.
yourself more
I'm
credit.
very, very grateful for that. And I don't know why I'm holding my wine down here, but
We can have wine. This is a.
they do a wonderful job, and this is such a service and needed in our communities. And what I want to tell everybody is, you don't have to have cable TV to see your local broadcast, your local
Yeah.
channel, your local shows on SEC TV. YouTube. That's it. Just be on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube, and you can see all of them. You can see your town, as far as committees, your government, some of the government.
Some
I
of it,
know.
yeah.
And you can see shows like yours,
Yeah.
and you can see other shows.
Born Political.
As well.
What a nice show that is.
I
It
have to
has
tell
great
you-
producers, and it has great people
Yes,
behind the
it
scenes
does.
that make it happen.
But I have to also admit that I've learned from your show, and certainly that I'm extremely political, and I really appreciate that you interview lots of different people on your show, not just political, but lots of different people. And then, just one quick story. because I know you have other people to talk with, but since I have the camera,
You have the camera.
I don't want to let it go.
You're the best dressed,
and,
too.
And I'm the best dressed. Thank you very much. Thank you. And that, as far as you interviewed a person who politically I was not in agreement with,
I remember this.
and that I listened to it, and I said, I'll be open, I'll listen to it. Because it was your show, of course I listened to it. And I like halfway through said, wow, what an interesting guy.
Yep.
And wow, he really cares about Groton.
Yep.
And wow, I didn't know that about him.
Yep.
And I walked away saying, I like him.
Well, that was the
Now
point of the
that,
show.
I know. So it worked.
It did,
It worked.
and it was great because we're getting to meet our community members and to have this venue and to have you even think about it. Born Political doesn't happen if Liz doesn't say, you know what would be cool. So thank you.
Love you dearly, Joe.
You too.
All right, thank you.
All right, we have there's a bunch of guests here right now, so I'm just picking people out of the crowd. This is nothing planned. This is just me standing here and people see me with a mic. Some are shying away, some are hiding, but others I think are willing to come up and share their story and why they're here tonight supporting SEC TV. It's an important event, important night. Again, if you're local, we have the mayor is here, right? City Mayor, how are you, my friend?
How's it really going?
I'm doing great. Another guest, past guest
absolutely.
on Born Political. Mayor, again, I think you see the importance of what SEC TV does.
Absolutely. This is tremendous to get the word out to everybody.
It is.
And to get a message out that would not normally be gotten out, right? I mean, this reaches audiences that no one else reaches.
It does. It does.
So it's tremendous.
And so when I did my show with you, I was able to share it on 5 different venues,
Right.
Through Jeremy on Twitch and all these different venues. And I've gotten feedback of the quality of the video. And a lot of people, I can't take this credit. I'm giving credit to Frank right now.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I have nothing to do with the quality of the video or sound or all the things that happen. But in reality, it all happens here. And once I'm able to share it out, it just looked great. And you were a great interview. You really were. One of the
I like
most
to
interesting
talk.
men alive.
I like to talk a lot, so that's always a good thing.
Well, me and you.
If you get, I know you're right. I mean, who's going to talk more, right? Who's going to take the air out?
My wife always says, Joe, you got to let other people talk. And when the mayor was on the show, she said he held his own.
And my wife says he'll talk to a telephone pole, right? So I love talking to people, and this is a great season, great time of year.
It really is.
It's good to see you again, my friend.
It's good to see you,
It is.
and
It is great.
and we're going to keep working together and keep supporting this venue.
Absolutely. This is
All right.
100%.
Well, Mayor, thanks for coming up.
Thanks,
Like I
Joe.
said, we have a bunch of different folks in the room, and we'll be kicking around here. So we have. Would you please come on camera? How are you?
I am great. I am not born political.
Everybody's born political.
Oh, well, that may be
if you
true.
watch my show,
Oh, okay.
and the whole point of the show is just to find out who the people are,
Oh,
and,
okay.
and why they have the feelings they have. Not if they're right or wrong, just why,
why
the
they have-
why.
yes.
And what's your name? I'm sorry.
I'm Harriet Grayson, and I am Harriet Grayson, and I'm the host and producer of Community Culture Showcase. So I interview the local artists. So many of the artists whose pictures are here,
Okay.
both photographs and the other visual art, I have had on my TV show, and I just love it and welcome. Because this is the whole thing about the studio.
It's unbelievable.
This art show is not because we make any real money out of it.
Yep.
But in fact, that we get the community out there. We're a community asset. There is no TV here except for our public access TV. You got a commercial station in Hartford. You got one in New Haven. You got one in Providence. They don't cover what's going on
Not what
here.
we do.
Exactly right.
And it gives us the
Exactly.
opportunity. So my show is also on this venue.
Right.
And again, when you get the feedback from folks saying, "What a beautiful sound," and the lighting was very nice. And what part of your basement are you doing that? And most folks don't understand that this exists.
Yes, exactly.
And my hope is, and all of our hope, is that people walk through here.
Yes.
Because I think the support of the community comes when people know what it is.
Exactly.
And I think
Exactly.
you bringing in art and artists and interviewing them, it gets more people through the door. But I just think the general public needs to take time and walk through the. I mean, it's an asset.
Absolutely.
You can't explain it any other way.
And the two Franks are just divine individuals.
The two Franks.
They make this thing possible. and for me as a host, I come in here and I get direction. I'm not a technician. All I know is how to interview people. So anyway, it's just
I've learned how to. I'm pretty good at taking selfies.
Yes.
And doing Facebook Lives. I figured out that technology. If you ask me to do anything with the camera or anything in back, or adjust the sound, or that's not happening.
No.
But we can't. And the cool thing was, and I don't know how you felt, but I was able to bring some other folks in to help produce, and they've been learning. And they give me tips on, hey, I think you're speaking too loud, Joe. Like my wife's tip all the time.
Yeah.
Joe, you're speaking too loud, or you're talking too much. But people reach out, and I think is that what you feel too? Do you get feedback from people when you're doing the show?
Well, because of YouTube.
Yeah.
This show is seen. So my brother lives in Louisiana, and he sees my show on YouTube, and he's always commenting because I wear a red shirt. And I always wear a red shirt.
Not always.
Well, not tonight. I was thinking about
It's Christmas, and you didn't wear the red.
No, I didn't wear the red shirt.
That is very Christmassy. Too.
Yes, yeah. So I was going to wear the red shirt. And there used to be a program by a guy named Tom Santos.
I remember Tom Santos.
Yeah, he's passed on. He was
the books, right?
Yes. He's just
Tom
a wonderful.
We all know Tom.
Yeah, a wonderful person.
Yep.
He had, all kinds of tragedies in his life, and yet he rose above that to be a contributor to the community.
Yeah.
Well, Tom told me years ago he used to go with the black hat and the black shirt, a black T-shirt, and he said you need a signature outfit. So I took a red shirt.
You made it yours.
Yeah, that's right.
Is this just a plain red shirt? That's it.
Yeah, that's
no,
it.
No fancy schmancy.
No.
Just red.
So
Tom
if
you're looking for the lady in red,
yeah, it's me.
that's you.
That's me.
But not tonight. Tonight,
Not tonight.
it's the lady in blue. It looks great. I think the shirt looks good. See, the camera even shows it and picks up all the detail. That's not something that happens with your camera phone when you're doing something live, right?
Yeah.
Not at that level.
Well, the equipment here is fabulous.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you're right. People have no idea. They're like, you're doing it in the garage, really? No. We're doing with sophisticated stuff here. It's a pleasure to have it. And anyway, anybody who's watching out there, if you're an artist, if you're a writer, or you're doing something really wonderful in the community, let me know. Contact me through the studio, and I'd be happy to talk about interviewing you.
And if you ever want to be interviewed on Born Political,
absolutely.
Because you say you're not political, but what I found is
everybody's political.
No, when you're a baby,
Yes.
I think it starts real young. Your first political move is you're hungry and you cry, and then you realize that your crying gets you something.
Yeah.
And your very, very first political move has been made, and that's why I think it all rolls out right from the very beginning. We all have that little bone in our body.
Oh, that's cute.
Because you're always pushing buttons, right? To get what you want, whether it's in school or no matter what you're doing. And but I think it should be fascinating and fun finding out what makes people tick, and not the craziness that we see.
Right.
Because really, most people really just want to have a good, decent, fun time. And
Well, they also want to live in a community
They do.
where people can, number one, they don't have to be afraid.
Yeah.
With the taxes, everybody has to pay taxes. This rubbish about you don't pay taxes. You don't pay taxes, you have nothing.
we don't have the studio.
Yeah, right.
Like, none of this.
You pay taxes, but you want to have some input. It's a local government. I mean, that's wonderful. Now, I actually live in Westerly, Rhode Island.
Oh, you're a Rhode Islander.
I am.
So that's where I get my soupy from. I'm sure if you eat soupy. And
Yeah.
You
In
have
fact,
to.
The people we bought my house from used to make it in the garage.
Okay.
We actually know that. So anyway, yes. And I'll give a plug for me.
Let's do it.
So Harriet Goodman Grayson is also a author, and my books actually are right here. I brought a few books for people to look at. Maybe they want to buy.
Are they fiction or nonfiction books? What?
Fiction
books.
And 20% of any sale tonight goes to the studio.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
It's a
and thank you for being on the
pleasure.
show. And I'd love to interview you someday.
All right.
Hopefully she shows up with the red shirt.
Yeah, I'll wear the red shirt for sure.
Oh, you will. Then we won't have the red tablecloth. We'll do just a glass. We're going to...
Take that off and wear it.
Oh, yeah. You still have time.
All right.
I'm pretty good at sewing. We could hook you right
All
up.
right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for doing your show. All right, guys, like I told you, there's a lot of interesting people in here. Someone that actually brought all the artists in. And if you get to walk around, you'll see stuff on the wall that just beautiful pictures and paintings done by these local people that are to me, again, you walk by. When I interviewed Bruce this last week, he has a 260-foot mural on the wall in the Mass General Children's Hospital. Something that if anybody in Groton has had the it's not the pleasure of seeing. If you were in the children's hospital, you probably weren't there for good reasons. But if you were there and had a meal in Mass General, that strip was Bruce. He came up with it and drew it. I think that was one of the coolest things that I've one of the coolest interviews I've had on the show. So we do have other people kicking around. Again, we're here till 8:00, but the food seems to be going pretty well. I don't know if I hear this chicken salad sandwich is to die for. So I'm going to go for 1 hour here till 6:30, and then I'm going to eat too. I'm going to go over there and get my fill. If anybody else wants to. Oh, we have Betsy Ritter. We have all the heavy hitters are here. So, and she is wearing red. So you want to come on and join me, Betsy. Come on up and join me. We're doing live interviews, and basically I'm here just talking about the benefit of SEC TV and what they mean to the community. But
That's easy. How are you?
I'm doing great. And we have all the heavy hitters here. The camera's right there. This is Betsy Ritter. Betsy, what's your association with SEC TV?
I'm fortunate. I just joined the board because now with the expansion across the river to the side of the river I live on, we need people from different towns, and I'm really pleased. And that's an opportunity for me to represent Waterford and to help the board.
Well, I can't wait to now I have to expand my guests. I've been mostly a Groton and Stonington area interviewer. And I'm going to reach outside. Murray Renshaw is going to be coming on the show on the side of the river.
Awesome.
Yeah, Murray's a good friend of mine. Yep. And hopefully I can have you on one day.
Sure.
And it will be an interview that we won't have to prepare for because she's done so much for the community, locally, and regionally. And still, what is your position now? Are you still?
You're very kind.
No, you work very hard.
My position is retired.
Retired now.
Great.
So this past session, though, you were doing something. You were in aging,
no,
right? Oh,
no,
you weren't?
I spent 3 years as a state's commissioner on aging.
Yep.
And after that, I worked over at the Office of Early Childhood, and then I retired at the end of 2018.
You know someone's busy because you see them at so many things, and you see them everywhere, and you see them at meetings, and they say they're retired. That means that they're just very, very busy people. Because if that is your idea of retirement, then
my family now keeps me busier.
That's good.
And that's a good thing. And I have the time to spend with them, which is also a good thing, as you know, because I know how you feel about family.
Oh, yeah.
It's everything.
And being on the board, have you done any board meetings yet, or are you fresh? So,
yes. Yep, but still new. I'm in the new category.
New category. But hopefully we can get folks to come in the studio.
Yes.
And walk, because I really think it's just like any asset that you have. It's not an asset unless people know about it.
That's right.
And this really is a jewel.
The studio is a jewel.
It
the
is.
Waterford studio is a jewel. So
I've been in that one too.
Okay, good, excellent. I did for a long time. I had a little show there, and used it quite a bit. But the opportunities for the public,
it is.
And that's the benefit.
Yeah.
And today's world, there are different ways that you can sort of be out there on all sorts of media, but not like this.
Exactly.
And the public access opportunity with the studio is huge.
That's what I noticed. I interview somebody. You're going to hear me say this over and over, but I actually get people that reach out and ask how I created such a high quality video with quality sound and made it look like an actual show that was produced. And I say, because it was produced, and it was in a very high quality studio.
Professional production. I mean, these guys know what they're doing.
They do.
And boy, does that make a difference. And when you're talking about being able to get either a message out or information or just communicate with people, it's the way to go. So I can't say enough about it. I'm really a big fan.
I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep going on. If you tap anyone on the shoulder, you think that would be wanting to come over and talk, we're going to...
I'll go get them.
Yeah, get them.
I'll go get them for you.
And I'm hoping to get both Franks on. I think it'd
together?
be very... Not together, because one of them has to be running the equipment.
Someone's got to stay at home.
There is no autopilot in TV.
No.
I don't think there is. Something always has to be adjusted, or I move the mic just a little bit wrong, and they have to go the volume up high. So you guys can't see it, but I'm getting a lot of direction in the back.
He's telling you to move on or get another guest or something like that.
No, never another guest.
But I'm just going to thank you and thank all the folks that are here to support public TV and public access.
Well, thank you, and I'll be seeing you soon. You're gonna come. You're gonna come on Born Political.
Oh, sure.
That's the show.
I was born political.
She was definitely born political. We don't have to. Some people say they have not a political bone in their body. It's not true.
Not the case.
It's not true, because if I start asking you things that mean a lot to you in your life, it's amazing how quickly the politics surfaces.
Oh, no question.
Because everything's political.
One way or another.
Everything you do, what your school, no matter what it is. And what's funny is someone that says, I hate politics, but I run the Little League in Groton. I try to remind them.
Right in there.
When you're talking youth sports, and it's to me the most passionate thing a human being will have. It's their kids. And are they playing enough? Are they not playing enough? Are they all those things? And how do I get my kid to play more? But that is a political move.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Everything is.
And that's just the beginning for many people. A lot
It
of
is.
folks will tell you later that's how they started.
Yep.
And what better way to start in the community with your family and your
Absolutely.
kids?
It's where I started, coaching.
There you go.
It's the quickest way to find out what people need and what they're short of. And this is something I didn't even know we needed, and here it is.
You bet. I'll get you some
All
folks.
All right, guys. Again, all the heavy hitters are here tonight. Where are you? I think you should be here tonight. I mean, we have a community event here. The mayors, your state representative, 2 state representatives, both from the 41st district, right here, Joe Dela Cruz and Andre Baumgartner. How often does that happen? It doesn't. He's going to be taking that seat very soon, sworn in. And I got to go get my kitchen table this week, because if you haven't been in my office in Hartford, I got rid of everything. And it's literally just one big kitchen table sitting in the middle of the office. It was an easier way to meet with people. And everyone loved my office. And they loved the kitchen table. They were trying to auction it off, but I'm going to get it. So if you're listening up in Hartford, it's going. How about one of those little guys? You want to come out? We have some young kids here now. See if they want to maybe come up. A lot of people are affected by this station. They don't even realize it. The programming that you get to see each and every week. I have my show, and I'm really proud of it. But if you watch all the other shows, there's a lot of good information out there. We have a lot of people enjoying. I see Conrad Heed over there. Maybe we'll get him on the show. Who else do we have? We have the band. You want to pan over to the band? I just want to show you guys what's happening here. Now, we have live music in this place. We're just making sure that the folks at home see the live music. It sounded so perfect that I'm trying to convince them to make sure that they know it is live. It is not a CD. It's 2 young gentlemen here making the things happen right here in the studio. How are you? I'm interviewing folks about SEC TV. If you want to join. Nope. Some people are choosing to just have another glass of wine and relax, and we want to make sure that happens. But if you want, Conrad, if you want to come up and speak, we'd love to have you. And I don't know if the Franks are coming up, because I would love to talk to the Franks. Hi, would you like to say anything on SEC TV? No, thank you. No, I am scaring people with the microphone. No, I'm like a bear. I can be bad. Yeah, if Frank wants to come on, oh yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't mind coming on. He is here an awful lot. Hey Bruce, come on up. We need a second guest. So, if you were on the show earlier, you know who this is. This is Counselor Bruce Jones. Oh, we got Frank coming on here in a minute, but
This is good. We got
20
seconds?
No, minutes.
20 minutes. Oh.
20 seconds. 20. No, at 20 seconds they start throwing stuff at me.
Right.
Because you saw how they had to
Yes,
end
they
our
do.
show.
That's right.
So I was explaining to people, because our interview I thought was the coolest thing was about the mural. It stuck in my head.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know all the folks that actually go to Mass General that from here, and I haven't gotten any feedback yet, but I know some people that are going to say, I know what that mural is. So that was one of the coolest parts of the interview.
That was good. It was one of the coolest. If you have like a long career, there are certain projects that
Stick in your head.
Stick in your head, and that's one of the ones that's.
Is there a number one?
It's 1 or 2. It's probably 1. Yeah.
Is there one in your head that's like?
That's probably the one, because the people at Mass General were so good. So what we're talking about is a project I did with the cancer hospital, Children's Cancer Hospital at Mass General, and So the staff was just incredible.
Yeah.
The subject matter of all these kids and the journey they go through. The Boston Marathon. It happened during the marathon bombing
That's
time.
right.
So we had to deal with all of that stuff in there.
And on top of that, you have art here too tonight.
I have 4 pieces of art here. Yeah. 4.
4 pieces of art.
And 3 of them are for sale. One's not. My wife said.
One is priceless?
She said that one you're keeping. We're keeping this one.
I don't think there's anything that I could draw on paper that my wife wouldn't be able to separate for herself with $1, maybe even less than $1. So if that is any proof that the wife is willing to keep a painting and not want to sell it, that says a lot about his ability, and maybe very little about my ability. I don't know. But I can guarantee.
It's practice. It's doing it and doing more and learning more.
I get that, and you say that, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to try. I still can't draw a car, and everyone should be able to draw a car.
Cars are actually tough.
Are they?
Cars are tough because
Mine
they have
always
all
looks-
these angles. It's start with a box.
Yeah.
Start with a triangle and a circle. But no, cars. You struggle with cars.
So maybe I'm setting my
You're
goals
going
too high.
Come down here.
So I should be doing like a stick figure guy and then work my way up. All right.
So tell us a little bit about what your unless we have somebody here.
Oh, no.
Some of the organizations that you belong with. So you're just sort of retired from the state rep, but you're not.
I just voted last week, so I'm still a state rep until January 4th, but it's all done now. But, I've been a part of Community Speaks Out since 2015, supported by the town council when we first talked about doing it, and supported again by the town council when you guys took some of the ARPA money. We just received a grant for $22,000 from the town of Groton through the lawsuit that's affected. It was, and again, the community. You guys being the council and be able to vote on something that this group is doing positive things. This last year we spent about $40,000 on sober living.
What was really important in your group is that you are a Groton-focused group.
We are.
And you work with Groton people. And I don't know whether you work with other towns. With
We
group.
do.
You do. Okay.
A lot of times, because we have a big sober living community in Groton and New London, a lot of those folks come from all different walks.
places.
But once they're here, it doesn't really matter where you're from.
Yeah.
And us to be able to help people and us be an area of recovery has been incredible.
Yeah.
We just had our first annual sober holiday party.
That's right, you did. Oh, you
had about 120 people on Saturday.
Yep.
DJ was dressed in his gold. I don't know if you saw that. I was all
If you
golded
ever
up
get
and
to
gilded
go,
up.
is it once a month you do it? The karaoke?
Once a month karaoke
Once a month.
at the bowling
If you
alley.
ever get to go to the bowling alley and do a Joe Dela Cruz karaoke night, you will have a blast. Oh, Miss Juliet Park.
Oh, we have Councilor Parker. Come on up. Look
I can step out now.
Yeah, he can step up. Like I said, guys, all the heavy hitters are here. If you're not here, it almost doesn't make sense why you're not here. Councilor Juliet Parker, how are you?
Good, how are you? Happy holidays, everyone.
Doing good. We're just talking about SEC TV and what a crown jewel it is for our community. And a lot of people don't know us here, but how long you've been involved here for a while because you've run a few times, right?
Yes.
And so you've been interviewed here?
Interviewed here several times, come to several events, gotten some pictures, so stop by today if you guys can. Wonderful artists, and I know the last one I purchased, I believe the artist passed away, so I was very glad to be able to meet the artist and get a photo from him.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yes.
So you're here for the art. You're here for everything. You are a very worldly person. You are. Council Parker is someone that you see show up at events that you just don't expect her to show up at, and in fact, I got a pancake breakfast because of her, because I was well aware. And my wife reminded me several times that the Groton robotics team had a pancake fundraiser, and I love pancakes, and they do a great job with pancakes. But I got a call from Councilor Parker and said, "Are you coming to get some pancakes?" And I went up and had breakfast with you this last week.
Yes, you did last Saturday, and again, Fitch Band will be doing it on the 17th, same time. So please show up.
Show up. So she shows up to everything. If you show up and go to half of the things that Council Parker goes to, I promise you will be a better human being, because that's how you get connected to the community. That's how you know what's happening around you by going and participating. And I see you at everything, and then I also see you at things where I wasn't able to make it, and I go, I wish I could be like Council Parker.
Well, sometimes you're there before I am, so. That's how I know about it. You'll post it on Facebook, and I try to make it there. So we both take turns with that, and that's a good thing.
It is.
So sharing the community, and please come out and enjoy yourself tonight. So.
All right, thank you, Council Parker. Awesome to see you. All right, again, we had two town councilors. We have an interview coming up next that, to me, this is what we always call them Frank Squared, two Franks. Both of the gentlemen that work here and run this establishment, Frank and Frank, they make all this possible. This is not a small time operation. We're right next to the post office, right here, and man, do you look good. I feel so underdressed now. You were the one who was all dressed up, so. I know. I should have worn I had a blue crushed velvet jacket. I had people painting the house, and it was boom, boom, like fast. But first of all, thank you.
Well, thank you for all you're doing. I mean, promote the show and for Connecticut as a whole. But I mean, southeastern Connecticut, all the work you do up at the state legislature, we're very grateful for you, Joe, and for the show you do to just bring out all the issues and keep the discussion going.
And I love doing the show, but to have a venue to do the show, that was always the challenge. And I think it is for a lot of people. They don't realize that they do have access to stuff like this around the state. I am very preferential to what we have here in Groton. It's a great facility, and the folks know what's happening and going on. Oh, I'm not doing the switch. See, there's a lot of things that I got to pick up on because I haven't done the interview like this where I'm doing the microphone and the switch. I got to do the back and forth. How long have you been involved with SEC TV?
Well, it opened in 2014, and I'm actually the founder and the executive director. It was something that I was given an opportunity to do it, and I have had no regrets at all. I've never looked back. I mean, it's been the best thing I could have done. It was a good fit. I was doing something similar before at another studio, and it just, when the opportunity presented itself, I was like, let's do it. So
2014, I mean, in 2015, I think that's when we started Community Speaks Out, and boy, does that time go by fast. It seems like yesterday.
It's like we're almost up on 10 years, and you know, we're at year 8 right now. But I mean, before you know it, it'll be 10 years we've been here. It's just unbelievable.
So in 2014, was this studio up and running, or you got the fund and then?
This was a cement slab. This space, it used to be called Fit and Feather. It was a pet store. Yeah, and then it was also a women's fabric store, Judy's. And so we were able to get a grant to get our startup costs, and here we are. We're here 8 years later, and we never look back. But we have some people to thank who were on we have a great board of directors who have helped us along the way, because if you want to do something, there's ways to do it, but you've got to, sift through all of the obstacles and overcome them. But if you're really determined, it can happen. And so.
Well, and we keep saying how we have these gems around the community. I think of Thrive 55. I think of people that I've interviewed, and a lot of folks will drive right by this place and not understand that first of all, that it only existed since 2014. In my mind, I'm thinking it's been here forever.
One of our goals is to always promote it and to make people aware of it, and you want to do that continuously, because there's always going to be new people coming in the area who are not, do not know about it. And right now, our overhead sign is not lit because it's an electrical issue, but normally we have a big sign out in front that says SEC TV, and we're planning on being here for the duration. So people like you are part of why we're here and why we exist, and we want to keep giving back to the community and making more people aware of this opportunity. So
I think most people, from my view, before I got a show, before I started doing the interviews, I was here a couple times on Peter Roper's show, and so I knew what the studio was about. But I didn't look at it as a resource like a library or like a school. And it's all of that. It really, to me, really becomes, it's a cornerstone of the community. And the fact that I think it may be underused because some folks don't know about it, to feel the power of being able to put on a quality program and share your opinion that's not done in your apartment or in your basement, but to have the actual, and again, when I bring in other people that help produce it, they actually learn some stuff too. So I'm learning how to use a microphone and put it back and forth and talk. But they've learned a lot about the cameras and the setup.
It's a great opportunity for people of all ages, for students to learn skills. And the thing about it is that the shows here, not only are they on the televised on TV, but they're also streamed to. We put them on Facebook. We link them to Facebook. We link them to YouTube. We upload to YouTube, Twitter. So there's all kinds of ways. Now the world has changed. When we started doing this, people were using videotape and DVD. That was the technology. But things have just exploded to the point where you can have a show now. You can have a worldwide audience, literally, on YouTube. I mean, it's almost mind-boggling how much it has grown over the last 10 years.
And if you can start hearing the voices in the background, we have a full house here.
The community has really turned out, and I'm very happy that people have come here to celebrate SEC TV and to look at the art. We have an art show that just opened tonight as well.
Yep.
We've got some great live entertainment with a group is called Small Wonder. It's an acoustic duo, Tom Cena and Bernie Santor. And they've been here many times before, and people come back. And as I look around the room here, I see several of the hosts of some TV shows who are here. Have you called some of them up as well? Or?
They have been on.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I've had three folks that have been that are part of shows here. I know Peter Roper and Peter and Terry, and then the one that brought the artist show in. Yes. I forget her name, but she's going to come on my show. we're gonna do a couple. I think that's who it was.
Okay, yeah.
And she normally always has a red shirt, but she doesn't tonight.
Oh, Harriet Grayson. Okay. And right here, this is Jimmy Bennett. I don't know if you know Jimmy Bennett.
I think we have met.
He does a show, called Books and Beyond, and he's a local celebrity here. He's a very fabulous chef as well. But I'll turn it over to him.
All right. How are you, my friend?
Well, I voted for you a couple times. I figured I'd meet you.
Oh, thank you for the vote, and thank you. I really appreciate the vote, and thank you for your service to the community.
Oh, yeah.
Hosting the show. And what's SEC TV meant for you, or how's it helped with your show?
Well, you know what? The thing I love about it is it's public, it's community, it's what keeps us strong.
Yep.
And there's a lot of talented people out there that just don't have a voice. You know what I mean? That haven't had a chance to get out. My catchphrase is help people personify their aspirations.
Yep.
You know, they write books, they paint, they sing, they do many things, but they don't get the word out, or it's hard to get recognized.
I think inherently some people say, well, I'm just doing it for myself, and I don't want to impose myself on other people. But people want to hear what other people are up to.
Yeah, I mean, you spend a lot of time writing a book or painting a painting or something like that. You want people to see it. You want feedback. You want to know how how they like it and stuff. So I try to help people see that.
And it's amazing. You come to a studio like this. I think most people walked in would think that you're paying $100 an hour to use the studio, or $300 an hour to use. And it's a free service. It's a community service. Yep. And most people, I think, if they knew about it, I think we'd be fighting for airtime.
For more time. Yeah, I have a bunch of people lined up now, so it's good for the rest of the year. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like people watch. I always tell people watch small. You know what I mean? This is the people you're going to see your neighbors. People that see you in a store, so I might not know who you are, but look at you and go, you know what I mean? But it's what keeps us strong. It's what keeps us connected, which is what we need, especially after this last 2 years of,
How long have you been doing your show for?
I think 2.5 years now, 3 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
So I'm still in the half-year stage
coming
up and enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah.
So, and you're weekly, right?
No, I do it about once every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're fantastic down here. Frank's fantastic.
It's great.
You know what I mean? Makes everything so easy.
Yeah.
I've done a few shows out in the world. I did a few festivals and a couple other things like that.
Awesome.
So I loved it. I actually played around with a show called Pin High about local golfing. A couple years ago.
I did see that. Recently I saw it. I think it was on.
Yeah, Frank plays them out. You know what I mean? It's good. And the other beautiful part about this is it goes on YouTube.
Yep.
And then people can link to it and put it on their Facebook or look at it anytime.
You still golfing a lot, or what are you doing?
Oh, yes, my thing, man. I love to golf. You know what I mean?
I'm not ready yet. I'm still. It seems like I'm so busy that I don't have the time.
Yeah.
And you got the problem. I say problem, but we live in one of the most beautiful areas in the country, in the world, and we can either go jump in the water or go on a boat. We have some of the best golf courses in the planet. Yeah. There's just so many things to do around here. You can only pick a couple, right?
Yeah, and that's one thing that I like to encourage people to really start looking around. I mean, you can't believe the parks and stuff that you drive by every day. You see a little sign that says, such and such sanctuary. You don't think about it.
Yeah.
Go in there, man. Oh
Take
my
a
God,
walk.
it's unbelievable. You know what I mean?
Just like here.
Yeah.
You walk by. It's,
Yeah.
It's the old Benny's Plaza. It's next
Yeah.
to the post office. Next time you go mail a letter or maybe ring the doorbell, just ask them to pop your head in.
Yeah.
I think people will be in shock.
Yeah.
Because I have guests that come from Hartford that I've interviewed from around the state, and when they walk in, they honestly can't believe the quality of studio that's
Right.
sitting in this little strip mall,
Right.
in Groton, Connecticut.
Yep. And now he's got the new green screen.
Oh, I didn't see
Oh,
that
you haven't
yet.
seen the green screen? Oh, you gotta have him.
no.
Yeah, you gotta have him hook you up with the green screen.
The green screen.
Yeah.
Huh? We have a senator here. You wanna? Why not? Oh.
I did.
We have Senator Austin here tonight. She's waving from the back scenes. She is. You know what? My guess is that she's probably worn out. She just had, I think it was her 8th election.
Oh wow.
And none of them are easy, and and they're all long. But thank her for coming down.
It's great that you find time to do this, man. I know you're busy.
I'm busy, and you know what? If there is a love for it.
Yeah.
There's a passion, and the more people I meet and get to talk to them about their stories. If you ever want to come on the show, I'd love to interview
I'd
you
love
too.
to have you too.
Definitely.
I've had everything from singers, musicians.
I'm a singer too. I'm a karaoke guy.
Well, we'll bring the machine. You know?
I don't know if I pass as a singer.
I would love to. We'll have to do that. We'll set it up and
we definitely will.
I'll have you on the show and we can talk
looking
about
forward
things
to it.
going on in town here that people should know about. And
and we're down to 2 minutes already. We've been on for 58 minutes now.
No kidding, really.
The thing about this show, with to get a mic and have in a studio, the time just flies.
Yes.
Especially when you have these
that's why I tell people, they're like, I don't know if I can talk for a half hour. I said, baby, before you know it, I'll be holding up that sign saying 1 minute, and I'll be telling you to.
So it happens to all of us.
Yeah.
Because I've been shocked from the day I started of how fast the time goes by.
Yeah.
But 99% of it is how interesting the guests are.
Right.
You bring
Right.
on some folks and they're passionate about something.
Right.
It oozes out of and everyone that's been on my show so far, I've been very, very blessed. But
I've had a couple kind of drag stuff out of them, but but for the most part, they want to talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
That's why they
wanna
came
tell
on the
story,
show.
You know.
Oh, I wish everyone could see all the people here.
Yeah.
I see people that are out here that they're definitely not coming on camera.
Yeah.
They're friends. Some snuck out because I was trying to chide them to come on.
If you found that the people that get really weirded out about going on camera,
They do. They do.
I think it doesn't bother me a bit now.
Oh, we are down to our final minute.
All right.
So we are here at SEC TV. There's still food left. We're going here till it's 6:28 now. It's December 8th because we do play reruns. So just to let you know, December 8th. Make sure if it's December 9th or 10th and you're watching this, don't come down.
Don't come down. Yeah. The food will be gone.
Not just the food, but the lights might even be out. Depends on what time it is during the day. So once again, Born Political, from myself, I want to thank Frank and Frank, SEC TV Studio, and thank all these great people, these board members that are here. Thank you for doing your show. We're going to see you next week on Born Political because I will be back. I have a guest coming up. I'm very, very excited to almost get into the new year, 2023.
I'll see you next week myself.
Oh,
I'm on the show next week.
Then I'll see you, and we'll set up a date, and we'll do that
All right,
show.
sounds great.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys. We will see you next Thursday.
Thank you very much. That was great.
That was all.